wanna vibe with you, I wanna transcend to another dimension. Your energy's what I've been missing. Pieces in the puzzle, so that's why we connected. Take me away to another place where I can be happy alone.
What's up, everybody? It's Lady Ace, aka the motherfucking nature goddess. And in this video, I just want to talk about psychedelics. Okay, so this video specifically is going to be about the misconceptions of psychedelics, specifically mushrooms, because I haven't tried any other psychedelics yet, but I will when I get some, when I motherfucking find it. Anyways, so the first misconception about mushrooms is, people, like, if you grew up in an area where I grew up, like, we grew up thinking that mushrooms was like the same as coke, the same as heroin, the same as motherfucking crack, the same as fucking fentanyl, you know what I'm saying? We grew up thinking that it was just the same thing and that it was just bad, it was a bad drug, it was this and that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here to break that motherfucking misconception, because that's a misconception, because mushrooms are nothing like those. And even though I've never tried any of those, I would tell you it's not the same, because one, mushrooms are natural, they grow in the ground, they grow, you know, on the side of trees, they grow in nature, they are natural to this fucking planet, they are natural to earth, they're natural. Okay, you can even grow mushrooms yourself if you wanted to, but they're natural, they're not man-made, they're not made in a lab, they're not tested on animals, you know. So that's the first misconception, they're not the same. Okay, because technically mushrooms are not a drug because it's natural. Drugs are man-made and they're not natural. But anyways, so that's the first thing. Now, the second misconception that people have about mushrooms is that, you know, they hear one bad story or one bad trip and they get all paranoid thinking that they're gonna die off their first trip, or that they just got a bad trip. And I just want to say this, I don't know how many times I've taken mushrooms, because I've took them so many times, and I've never ever had a bad trip ever in my life. And I have taken a lot, and I'm not even being dramatic. Like, I've taken, you know, the top of a mushroom. Even if you've never seen like psychedelic mushrooms, you know what the top of a actual mushroom looks like. Okay, the top of the mushrooms, I've taken 15 at one time, and I've never ever had a bad trip. And the reason why is because when you have a bad trip, 9 times out of 10 it's because of what's going on with you mentally and spiritually. Because people don't understand that mushrooms and psychedelics are spiritual. They are not, it's not like smoking weed or drinking alcohol, even though those are spiritual too, but it's not the same type of high, so to say. It's not the same. It's definitely not like a party drug, like that you would take at a party to just have fun, like ecstasy or something. You know, it's nothing like that. So if you're thinking about taking mushrooms just because you want to have fun, you got it twisted. You got it twisted. That's not what that's for. It's for spiritual purposes. If you want to be, these girls are having so much fun, but that's really what it's for. Mushrooms and psychedelics are for spiritual purposes, to have spiritual awakenings, so to say, but to realize stuff. Anyways, so yeah, like, people have bad trips because they're not mentally prepared for what's about to go on. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand what psychedelics are going to do to you. Psychedelics are going to bring up emotions. They're going to bring up any hidden emotions, any hidden traumas, anything that's not healed within you, anything that's not at the very surface, and even things that are at the surface, is going to bring it all. It's going to bring it all out of you. So people don't prepare for that. You know, people don't realize that that's what's going to happen, that all of their emotions are going to be brought up. And so my mom was telling me a story about her friend. Like, they took shrooms a while ago, like back in the day. They took shrooms back in the day, and he had such a bad trip that he killed himself. You know what I'm saying? And it's because people are not ready to face themselves. People are scared of the truth. People are afraid of themselves, because that's all there is to be afraid of. You know what I'm saying? So when you're not mentally prepared for what you're gonna learn about yourself, or what you're gonna realize about yourself, then that shit can scare you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you are very hurt, you know, if you've been through a lot, if you've been traumatized over and over and over again, if you've never healed your pain, your traumas, your problems, your situations, all of that is going to come to the surface. So if you haven't healed any of that, it's going to hurt, it's going to shock you, and it's going to scare you. But that's why you have to be mentally prepared to take a trip. Like, before I take a trip, I already know, like, I've never had a trip where I didn't cry. I've never had a trip where I didn't laugh. I never had a trip where I didn't smile. And I've never had a trip where I don't think about my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally brings every range. It's like a roller coaster ride. Literally, it brings every range of emotion. One minute you might be crying, the next minute you're laughing. I have video footage, and I don't know if we'll see by the time I upload this. We'll see if I already upload those. But I have video footage of me, you know, in nature, and I had took shrooms, and I was tripping for like 3 hours, like really tripping, and for 10 minutes I was just dying laughing. You know, I was just enjoying myself, having fun, and then the next hour I was crying, I was sad, and I was just like being hard on myself, like, damn, I gotta do better with my life, da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no suicidal shit, because I just knew I had to just cry it out and get out those emotions and do what I need to do. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You just have to release those emotions and continue to move forward. But anyways, I know I got a little sidetracked on that reason, but I'm not really prepared for this video because I don't have my notes and I be forgetting stuff. So I just want to say this, okay? And if I remember anything, I'll add it on later.